Howdy everybody. HTEDC coming at you this Saturday afternoon, and kind of dreary, kind of chilly out here, thus the big coat. But as you can see in the background, we have some wood, and that is going to be the inspiration for today's video. This is going to be an open tag that I'm going to participate in, a response to GR Knives open tag about show us some wooden knives, some knives with wood, and that's one I definitely can participate in. So I'm going to actually show one today from all three facets of my collection. I'm going to show one fixed blade, one modern, and one traditional. I know I usually focus a lot on the traditional stuff, so I'm going to show a couple other little items today, branch out a little if you will, and show one of each. So without further ado, we're going to start with a fixed blade, and we're going to work our way back to we're going to end up on the traditional at the end of the video. But the first one I want to show you guys today is the Buck 539. Turn it around here for you. And this is a little bird and trout style knife. It's called the 539 Open Season, and this has walnut. Get up here and see that grain. That is walnut handles there. And yeah, it's just a nice little EDC size if someone wanted to, but basically a little skinning slash bird and trout knife from Buck. And this one actually has, I don't know if it'll come into focus there, but you see the Boss logo on there, and this is in S30V steel. This thing has a really acute pointy tip on it. Has a nice cutout right here, so if you wanted to pinch up for that detailed work on your skinning chores, it is got a big generous, when you're back on it, got a big generous finger choil. That's what she looks like in hand. And like I said, it has some cutouts right here where you can kind of pinch. Has just all kind of different grips on this knife, but that's really what you need on a purpose-built knife like this, a skinner, a little bird and trout. That is the purpose, you know, getting inside your animal, and not without getting too gory, but you know when you're skinning and cleaning an animal what you're doing. And that knife needs to be very versatile and have a lot of different grips on it. But yeah, first one I wanted to show you is the Buck 539 Open Season in walnut handles. So moving on, we're going to show you a modern, and honestly this is a modern traditional. This is not a full-blown, you know, as you would think modern, you know, I think Spyderco, Benchmade, Demco, but this is a little something different. This is a little modern traditional. Thus it does have a thumb stud on here, so this knife can be flicked open, but it has no pocket clip. I do run this in a sheath, and this guy has desert ironwood. That grain will come in there. Those are desert ironwood covers on this guy, and this knife is made by Masserin in Italy. It's one of the group of the Manago knife makers over in Italy, and this is one of the Masserin lines. I forget what the exact model is. I don't think it's, does it tell me? It tells me it's an Arnaud design, so that was the designer. Gives me the designer here, but this is in 440C. Very pointy, kind of very acute tip on this guy. Beautiful knife in my opinion, but it does have the modern materials. Has a thumb stud, has a lanyard hole back here. Kind of give you a look of that in hand. Just, I'm able to get all four fingers on it comfortably. Just a little skosh coming out the back, but just a beautiful knife. And again, I run this in a pocket slip, just like a normal traditional. but and actually it has a removable. You can see here on this other side, it has a set screw there where you could remove that thumb stud, but I believe it would just leave that hole, and that would be kind of unsightly. So we leave it in there. It doesn't hurt anything, and it does, it does lend itself to, like we said before, one hand deployment. So definitely a modern traditional, but a very pretty piece by Masserin Knives in Italy. So that is my modern knife today. Granted, a modern traditional, but modern nevertheless. And lastly, we're going to get to my sweet spot, and I don't think you get a whole lot more modern than a good old Opinel. And this guy has had a lot of mod work. It's been burnt. We've done some burning of the wood on here, put some different little insignias and marks on it, just kind of to give it a little character. I just kind of went crazy with this. It has a hand lanyard. We've added an easy open notch up here to open this guy. And as you can see, it's got a little different blade shape on here. We've kind of ground it down. It's got a little bit, not quite as reverse Tonto-ish as maybe a 940, but it kind of has some of those similarities. Definitely has been modified. And this is a big boy, guys. This is the Opinel 12. So if you guys are used to the 7, and the Opinel 8 is probably the most popular, definitely the most popular size in Opinel. This is a big boy here. This is number 12, and you can see how much I have. I have a good 3/4 of an inch or inch coming out the back of this knife, but you guys know me. I go big or I go home. So I definitely have no problem with the size. But as you can see, it's got a nice patina going on here, kind of a black washed. I believe I know I did. I forced a little patina on this. Kind of got a smoky gray patina going on this. It is the carbon steel, obviously. And yeah, this is Opinel number 12, and that is in beech wood. If I hadn't said what kind of wood, that is their standard wood, beech. Of course, I have stained it. We've got some polyurethane. I forget what kind of, I definitely can see that shiny here. I've definitely polyurethaned it and stained that some. But yeah, it has got a nice hand lanyard on this. So if I'm really whacking or doing something, which this knife isn't designed for real heavy chopping, but if I need to be hands free, if I'm doing a task or whatever, I did put a little hand lanyard on here so I can free up my hands, whatever I'm doing, and boom, give it a little swing, and I'm right back up, ready to go. So that is my traditional today, the heavily modified Opinel number 12. So we're going to get off here, but just like to thank GR Knives for this open tag that I was able to participate in, and hope everybody's having a great weekend out there. Stay safe, and as always, right down here, if you're enjoying the content, and definitely if you've watched the video this far, if you're hearing my voice now, hit that like button. You obviously got a little something out of this, and that I'll really appreciate that. It helps the channel. And if you really enjoy it, if you're really enjoying the content, think about subscribing. I'd love to have you on Team HTEDC. We're trying to grow this thing, and you're the way we're going to do it. So with that being said, we're going to get out of here. Everybody have a great weekend. HT out.